Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the Business Edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we dive on into the news, you can help support the channel with my various affiliate links. Today we are highlighting A2 Hosting. I use A2 Hosting for my websites and for my clients' websites. I'm a web developer, so if you do need help with a website too, go ahead and get a hold of me as well. But you can follow my link there, tlm.li/A2H. Get shared hosting as little as $3, which is 66% off for your first cycle, which I believe you can apply that price for up to 3 years. I know for 2 years for sure, up to 3 years, I think. And then there's other plans that you might need as well, reseller hosting, VPS, dedicated servers, and things like that. So you can go ahead and have a look at them, and let's head on over to the news, shall we? So, on to the business news. First and foremost, who out there is using Spectrum? Well, expect to be paying about an extra $200 this year. They are increasing the TV broadcast fee up to $16 a month. So, yeah, they're seeking to raise it again, which corresponds, I guess, to a $2.95% increase. So up to a rate of $16.45 is what that fee is going to change. So what is that, about 3 times 12? Is that $36 more per year? They're like, oh, you know, it's getting hard out there, man. We're not making enough money to keep our yachts running. And so, you know, was this the company that just got hit with hidden fees? Now, I gotta say though that these companies are getting sneaky with some of this. So, of course, I always battle with Comcast here, an annoying company. And one of they're like, you know, we can save you a little bit of money, and you just kind of go over here, and they're like walking you through all the process, and it's like, sure, it saved me like $10. But what they were trying to do is they were trying to add this broadcast TV fee to my bill, despite I'm using just internet. And so they're doing this. It's like, oh, well, this is the extra fee. I'm like, yeah, but that can change. Well, you know, I mean, it may or may not. Who knows? But it's cheaper for you right now. I'm like, no, we're just going to go ahead and keep my old rate. Thank you. Because it's predictable and it doesn't change. Unlike this new rate fee that constantly goes up. This is what they were trying to do. And a lot of people using Comcast fell for this. Oh, we can lower your bill by $10. Yeah, for this month. But what they were doing is they were dropping your internet bill and taking that $10 and adding that to the broadcast television fee instead, which they can kind of change on a whim because, you know, it's up to whatever it costs us to get the information, you know, and so price fixing and whatever else. So that's what Spectrum's up to. So if you're using Spectrum, be planned to start paying a little bit more. All right, so from Forbes, Amazon acquires a robo-taxi delivery service. It would appear that, though they haven't said a whole lot about it, but they ended up appearing, they acquired Zoox, not Zoom, but Zoox. Well, this is basically robo-taxis. So the idea is that they will have fully autonomous driving cars, and someone will pack the car with the packages, and they'll have some mechanism for sure to go out and deliver packages. So the idea is a pure delivery system that is effectively contactless, is what they're kind of looking at. So that's kind of what they're up to. 6-year-old Zoox raised more than $950 million in equity and debt, grew over to 1,000 staff. Company had a dream of developing an automated ride-hailing service with a purpose-built EV. So Zoox, I cannot say that right. Zoox had hoped to launch commercial service in 2020, but like many startups in the ad space, it had struggled to raise additional capital. So Amazon buys it up, and I guess they'll go ahead and do that. Of course, we're talking about deliveries surging during pandemics because we're all gonna die. And so whatever else is gonna happen, I don't know. So that's that. All right, on to Lyft. Lyft drivers are not happy. Of course, Lyft policy, you have to be wearing masks and gloves or else. A friend of mine showed me this glorious picture. He was at the bank the other day. He snapped the photo. Guy next to him had this big, huge mask and these giant rubber gloves going down to his elbows in his car. It's like, what? Are you kidding? This is right on par with the people. I was walking down the street in my neighborhood the other day, just kind of getting away from the computer. There's 2 people sitting on lawn chairs right outside their front door, like 12 feet away from the sidewalk. I start walking down the street. I'm just kind of walking on the sidewalk. When I approach their part of the sidewalk, they both put on masks. It's like, what? I don't know. Do you think mystical, magical coronavirus is going to jump from me over there 12 feet away when I'm walking this way and you're there. I mean... But anyway, Lyft is requiring the drivers to wear PPE, but the catch is they have to buy their PPE. Of course, they could just provide their own. They're required to wear masks, wear gloves, sanitize their cars, do all this kind of stuff. It's going to cost a lot. They're like, hey, you can buy the stuff from us. Now, they are selling it basically at the wholesale price. Of course, do you think that Lyft is buying at wholesale price? No, they're profiting off of it too, for sure. But anyway, it's cheaper than if they go out to the local Wally World or CVS. Well, they looked at CVS and Target, where the same price is a couple dollars more. But still, it's kind of pissing off the Lyft drivers that they actually have to buy the required PPE for their cars. And so this is some of the things that's feeding into this whole debate about, are these people contractors or are these people employees? And so, yeah, Lyft is now selling PPE to drivers. They should be providing this stuff for free since March, yet here they are selling it to the drivers. So you can go ahead and order all your PPE from them. And, I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, well, Apple, of course, is moving to ARM, as many of you guys know, and ARM processors they're like, hey, man, we're getting powerful. Well, there's actually one company behind ARM, and the majority shareholder is SoftBank, which is a very unscrupulous, money-hungry, New World Order-backed candidate for people who are looking for that kind of crazy stuff. Well, they actually own a very large stake in ARM, and ARM's like, hey, Apple's coming on over. Sure, let's just go ahead and increase the licensing fee. So you might expect to start seeing prices for things using ARM chips go up. So that's definitely an interesting thing because, I mean, you think that they're just going to keep that? No, if you need some Raspberry Pis, you might want to buy them now. I'm just saying. So SoftBank partially decided to buy ARM to put itself in a position to take advantage of the forecasted boom of the IoT. Unfortunately, SoftBank IoT hasn't advanced quite as rapidly with the pandemic continuing to play out. It may even take longer. However, since Apple, and despite Apple is making their own processors, I think they are, or at least it's their contracted Gestapo slaves making it. But with that, they still will have to pay that licensing fee. So there's another reason Apple, we just go ahead and tack an extra $250 on there. Just call it licensing fees. Sure, it only costs us $5 more in fees. I know, just don't worry about it. More profit. The sheeple will pay it. So anyway, but yeah, the ARM processors, they are now actually looking at increasing those, and that's going to be sending more money out to SoftBank. So decent investment, I say. There we go. What do you guys think about that one? Let me know. But particularly if anybody's over in Japan, let me know what you think. Japan has approved experiments that would allow for animal-human hybrids to be born for the first time ever. I think Sam might have sent this over. Somebody on Discord sent this over to me. I think it was Sam. Very interesting story. Is this his old article, though? This is an old article. I just noticed this is an old article. It did just show up in my feed, though, so, oh well. Our weekly news roundup is about a year old. Last year. But anyway, first time I've heard about it. Japan's government approved a request by scientists to conduct stem cell experiments to create animal-human hybrids and allow it to be brought to term. So Japan's science ministry last week gave provisional approval to a proposal from researchers at the University of Tokyo to create animal embryos that contain human cells and transplant them into surrogate animals. So the idea is to produce some of the organs that you might be able to grow organs for transplant in humans. That's what the ultimate goal of this is. So it's kind of moving in that general direction. So let me know what you think about that. Is that too crazy, not crazy enough? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on all that in the comments down below. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.